All right, Big today is Thursday. It's September 21st. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. In-studio guest today is Nicky Smokes. If you don't know Nicky Smokes is, I believe, our newest and one of our youngest employees.
Yes, definitely one of the youngest. I don't know about newest. I don't know who has been hired here since me, but yeah. I would definitely say I'm like the freshest meat in the deli.
I would agree. That's a good way to put that.
Yeah, I'm all the way in the back.
Yeah,
like exactly. They're hiding me.
We haven't even pulled you out of the freezer yet. Regardless, Nicky Smokes, welcome, man. I usually have a lot of the new people on and just do a little one-on-one with them, see what they're about, and just kind of almost an introduction podcast for Barstool. So you've, in your own way, been able to make some waves out of the gate, though. So you're really not in the freezer of the deli.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, I've made waves since I got here, honestly, from my first day, and it's been pretty crazy, to be honest with you. I feel like I didn't go out of my way to make those waves, though. It was kind of the second I walked in here, there was like 5 articles written about me. Mm-hmm. And then I had guys like KFC, like bringing up my contract, et cetera, et cetera. And I just felt it was appropriate for me to address that. You know, like I didn't come here looking for problems, but if people wanted problems with me, I wasn't going to just get stepped on, you know, like I was going to stand up for myself.
Yeah, there was no backing down in your eyes. You weren't going to ignore it. You figured the best way to address it is head on, which typically it works well for from an audience perspective. It works well from, you know, engagement and whatnot. But then obviously you do have to work with these people. So that's where it like gets a little muddied when situations like that arise.
No, 100%. You know? But I think I've done a good job since just being here is building relationships with people that I actually work with, like face to face. I don't have any problems with anyone I work with, and anyone that's ever hung out with me outside of the office or even in the office, they all have good things to say about me. It's just more so the people that, you know, they might be in the New York office and all they hear about is the punk South Florida kid parking in Eddie's spot. But, you know, like they don't know like the backstory towards it, or, you know, they've never met me before.
Yeah. Well, let's start at the beginning here for people that really don't know, that maybe just casually listen to this show or casually follow Barstool. So you got this job. You were 23 years old. Yep. You made a bet with Portnoy that if the Heat knocked out the Celtics, you would get a full-time job.
Yes. So it all started when I had that Bills rant when the Dolphins beat the Bills, and I was cursing at all these Bills fans. Not my best video, but it went viral.
Yeah, you were being an asshole.
Yeah, I was being a fucking dick. Like, that video is one of my biggest regrets. But it also kind of, because that game just meant so much to me as a Dolphins fan, because Buffalo always comes into our stadium and takes over it. And their social media team, they put out a video of all these Bill fans on a flight over here, and they were enjoying their flight on the way to Miami, thinking they're going to come in and whoop our ass.
Yeah.
And then we beat them, and the first thing I could think about was just enjoy that flight home. Like, enjoy that flight home back home. And I was very drunk. It was a crazy game. The Dolphins won. And then I posted that video not even knowing what I said in the video. And I got back to my car, which is a 1-minute walk, unlike here in Chicago where it takes you 45 minutes to get back to your car.
Yeah.
And I opened it up, and it had like 500 likes in less than 2 minutes. And I was like, oh, my God, like, what did I say here? And I listened back to it, and it just got to the point where it was too late. And then later that night, Dave Portnoy quote tweeted the tweet and said, "This guy sucks." So I was like, now I'm never working at Barstool.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get that job. And
was your intention to work here before that?
Yeah, my dream job was to always work here. So I started my own business back in the day. It was just me posting videos, and I called it Smoke Sports. That's how I got the name Smoke, because I wanted it to get big to the point where Dave would just buy me out, and then like that would be my way into Barstool. Because I gave him one of my business cards once when I was like 18, because he needed a Kobe Bryant jersey, the one that he was wearing with that crackhead in Miami. I was there for
No
that.
Arms Pizza Review?
Yeah, I was standing next to Dana Beers live while that happened.
No shit.
He's wearing my Kobe Bryant jersey in that video.
Okay.
So the first time I met Dave, I was so scared to even show him one of my videos. I just gave him my business card right before I left, and he probably threw it right out. But then fast forward, that Bills video happened, and then I went to Buffalo. I met the chef, and I posted the picture, and Dave was like, "This kid is on an insane redemption tour right now." And then he followed me, and I was like, all right, this is my moment. Like, he's going to give me the job. Never heard from him for 3 months. And then he starts tweeting at me in the middle of the Celtics Heat game, Game 6, where Derek White hits that fluke layup.
Mm-hmm.
And I woke up the next morning, and he sent me a message, and he said, do you want to bet Game 7? And I said, absolutely, and the rest was history.
So I did not know the deeper backstory. So
Yeah.
let's go there. So you start Smoke Sports at 18?
Yeah, so I was 18 years old. I was at Florida State. I moved back home, went to FAU, and you know, you go to college and it's like, oh, I want to be a lawyer, and then you find out you have to do another 4 years of school or 8 years of school if you want to be a doctor. I'm like, all right, I don't want to do that. What do I want to do? I like making videos. I like being in front of the camera. I like talking about sports, and I always wanted to work for Barstool. I mean, since I was like 17, 18 years old. And I was just watching Gary Vee at the time, like during COVID and shit. And he's like, if you want to get hired by some company, follow everyone in the company and post a bunch of fucking videos, and then maybe they'll call your name one day. So that's what I did. But instead of just making it Nick Longley, I just called it Smoke Sports. And then that's how that kind of like took off.
Okay. So you did that, and then you followed everyone. You're kind of looking for an in.
Right.
Right after Kobe dies, Dave was asking for a Kobe jersey, or how did that go down?
So, like I said, I followed everyone. I listened to Gary Vee. I followed everyone. And it was Dana Beers. He sent out a tweet. He said, does anyone in Miami have a Kobe Bryant jersey? And I responded to him so fast that he thought I was like a bot. Like I wasn't like a real account.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, dude, like I'm a real person. Like here's a picture of the Kobe Bryant jersey. Like I'll be there in 30 minutes. And then boom, like that's what happened.
No, you knew you just genuinely had one, or did you have to
No, I
ask
had
a
one.
buddy
No,
or
I had
something?
one. I
Okay.
had one. Yeah.
All right, so you go there, you gave Dave your business card, you didn't want him to listen to anything yet, and then that's where communication cuts off.
Yeah, so like completely dead. So I got Spider's number because I was really talking to Dana and Spider, and Dave was just there. Like I didn't want to like bother him.
Yeah.
And I was also like shitting my pants. I was starstruck like to a certain extent. But I got Spider's number, and I feel bad for Spider because I would go out at like 10, 11 o'clock, whatever. I'm drunk texting Spider, give me a fucking job. Like, I hate my job, blah, blah, blah. I'm like blowing up Spider's phone at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, like trying to get in the door.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, trust me, you're not the only person to do it with Spider, I'm sure. Because Spider's an odd job kind of guy. He was for a while. Like, I know he'd do a lot of that for the pro football show or the college football show, where he would drive like 3 hours to Jersey to get like a Michael Pittman jersey. You know what I mean? Just like random jerseys he would have to find for like the Mortal Locks. So that's not unusual to Spider, I'm sure. But so it goes to that, and then the first time you get on his radar was through that. So he followed you after the jersey? Go back. Sorry. He followed you after the jersey?
So after the jersey, he probably didn't even know what the fuck my name was by the time I left. Like, that's how little I said to Dave.
Yeah,
the first
no
time I
shot
met
he
him.
did. Yeah,
No
There's
shot.
No
He
shot
took my business card, probably threw it on the floor the second I got in my car. So I would say I got on his radar.
Crazy you had business cards at 18.
Yeah, no, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Like,
I mean, hey,
I was doing everything.
you're
I
hustling
could.
though. Like
Yeah,
you
I was
said,
trying.
you had a way to go about it in mind. Like
Right.
you had a path. Like,
Exactly.
in your head.
Yes, even though it might have not made sense, but
It made sense to you.
It worked.
It made sense to you, 18 years old, Nicky Smokes.
Right. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
okay.
So the first time I would say I got on his radar was that Bills video of me being an asshole. But it was like in the worst way. Like, I never thought I'd ever get hired by Barstool because of that video. But then I went back to Buffalo and I met the chef that like I told to go fuck himself. And he was like the coolest guy ever. He's like, dude, like, I didn't even think about it when I left the stadium. He's like, my niece or nephew sent him the video, and that's the only way that he saw it. But when I posted that picture of me and the chef, Dave saw it, and he like quote tweeted it and said, this kid is on one hell of a redemption tour. And then he followed me. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, like, is my job coming? Like, why is Dave Portnoy following me? Like, what's going on? Like, This is what I've waited for my whole life. And then the Heat played the Celtics, and he just started tweeting at me in the middle of the game, like talking shit. And I was like, all right, perfect. Like, this is what I want. Like, I'm on his radar now. And then luckily Derek White put that shot in, and I won the bet.
And then, so the bet was Game 7. Whoever, if the Heat wins, what was the opposite?
So the bet was Heat win, I get a job here. If they lost, I had to get a Dave was right tattoo.
Oh, no shit.
And it was like a 3-leaf clover.
No shit.
I was going to put it on my ass. But know what the craziest part about that is like my friends and my family, they were all asking, they said, what if the Heat lose? Like, do you still think he's going to give you the job? And I said, I really don't think so. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I was like, no, maybe down the line. I don't think he would have. I was like, maybe down the line, but I don't think I would have got it.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have.
No.
I think he was just like, a bet's a bet to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I guess we got a South Florida guy now. That's what he said after the Heat won.
After the Heat won. So, yeah. Dude, crazy kind of roots to the whole story with you and Dave. Starts good. Like, he likes that. A guy who would do anything to give him a jersey and just race there and to get his name in the hat. But, there's been so many people who've done that. Like, I remember when he was first looking for a guy, like, he had a guy off and someone brought him, like, underwear. I think someone brought him because he only wears Dolce & Gabbana underwear. And someone brought it to his hotel in L.A. So, like, shit like that, like, people do that shit. So, I mean, that's good, but that didn't stand out, obviously.
No.
So then you go down in the dumps with that. What did you say to the chef? So you just told the chef to fuck off at the stadium?
No. So, I mean, you want me to say it verbatim?
Sure. I mean, I'm sure he's going to splice it in the video version of YouTube.
I was screaming at my phone like this, enjoy that flight home, pussy, enjoy that flight home, pussy. And then I was walking towards the railing and like the chef's right here and like there's an opening and I'm about to like just walk past him. And then like someone walks into me and I bump into him. And then, but on video, I'm holding it like this. So it kind of looks like I just like hit on myself. And I was like, enjoy that flight home. And he's like, fuck you. And I was like, fuck you. And then,
yeah.
And then, yeah.
Enjoy that flight home, pussy. Enjoy that flight home. And fuck you. Let's go.
Not my best moment.
Sure, but I think, Nick, that's where we kind of sit here today. And you're like, well, why did I start so rocky? Why was the thing so bumpy? So that's a tough look.
Yeah,
tough initial impression to people, right?
Yeah.
And then the second thing was people were obsessed with you starting at 100K.
Yeah.
Right? Not obsessed. We won't say that, but like people were rubbed the wrong way. People who've been at the company maybe weren't making 100K. We're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what's going on?
Sure.
So what?
But the thing about the 100K is, I love Barstool. I never wanted to work for Barstool so I could have 1.5 million followers or make $800,000 a year. I just believe in the culture of the company. You know, like being able to wake up and come here and talk about sports with you or hop in front of a microphone every now and then. Like that's enough from like that's the shit that makes me happy. And when me and Dave were going back on the bet, I told him I would work for $1,000 a week. He's the one who offered me 100K.
And that was part of the terms to the bet too.
Yeah.
I
told Dave, I said, look, I'm not here for the money. I said, I will work for $1,000 a week. I told him that. I have it in DM.
But he was like, no, fuck this.
He said, I'll give you 100K. What do you want me to say to that? Yeah. No? Like, no one's going to say no to that.
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah. So I think people who were angry about that should take it up with him personally. Like, that's the only way to look at it. Like, it's not your fault that you got offered what you all got offered. If they feel like they should have got that too, they should, go about that with him.
And, like, my thing is, too, it's, like, I put a piece of my body on the line. Like I'd imagine if I lost and I had to walk around with a Dave was right tattoo on my ass for the rest of my life.
Yeah, like you had skin in the game, quite literally.
Yeah.
So I got you, dude. I got you. But so that's where it's like, from the fan base perspective, the video obviously tough, and anyone like that wasn't a good look. And people like, is that you though? Like
no, and that's the thing that kind of sucks is because all my content leading up before that was quite the opposite. Like I've helped raise thousands of dollars for Tua's foundation. Like I've sent every single year, I send a kid who's never been to a Dolphins game to their first Dolphins game. Every Christmas I'll do a giveaway and give kids like a Dolphins jersey if they've never had one before. So that one video, and it's just kind of like, again, I watch a lot of Gary Vee content, but it's like when I walk into that stadium, it's like that alter ego like takes over me. Mm-hmm. It's like that diehard sports fan. Plus, you've been drinking, and your adrenaline's rushing, and I feel like I'm out there on the field. I feel like I'm on the field on third down, fourth down, and I take it all so personal. But outside of that, I mean, even when I went to Buffalo, like just walking around the street, they're like, I thought you would be a completely different person. And it's just kind of more so like when I'm in my football environment in the stadium like that, like something just takes over. But since then, like that video is probably a blessing because like I'll never act like that again in a stadium. And it's kind of like I needed that reality check where it's like, hey, like you can't just be walking around talking to people like this thinking it's a good thing. Yeah. And unfortunately for me, the one video that did go extremely viral is me looking like a complete asshole. But
yeah, and that's tough. And unfortunately, like society, I don't want to say rewards that behavior, but like that's what kind of.
But they kind of do in a sense, right?
For sure.
But you know, I don't want to say this in like a negative light, but if I was a Philly fan, it probably would have been received completely different.
It's an interesting point.
You know, and it was just more so like, oh, it's a Dolphins fan. They finally win a game. Because, look, what I did was wrong. I'm not justifying it. But there's a lot of shit.
You looked like you were a dick. Not you looked like a
No,
you
I was. One million %. I'm not here to dispute that. Yeah. But there's a lot of other shit that is said and done at football games that are way worse. Like, I've seen you see people get knocked out all the time at games. You see, you know, I mean, there's a lot worse. Don't get me wrong, I was 1,000% a dick. Yeah. But like I've been going to games since I was literally 3 years old. Yeah. So like I've seen some crazy shit.
For sure. No, but do you feel like that video has instilled in people where you just make a video that's emotional about Jalen Ramsey going down or about, you know, some other type of Dolphins happening, and they're like, man, they can't get that sour taste out of their mouth? Or have you seen that, or what do you think?
I mean, look, there's always going to be people that don't like you. Yeah. Like no matter what you do, no matter like how hard you try. And I've learned literally from my first week in this business that not everyone's going to like you, and you just got to accept that. Like you can't please everybody. So, I mean, when I went to Buffalo, I mean, those people treated me as if I was like an A-list celebrity. It was unbelievable. Pictures, this, that, drinks, food, blah, 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 blah. So I've made amends with, I'd say, at least 80% of the people in Buffalo. And I love going to Buffalo, and I'm going to Buffalo next week or the week after when we play them. I think it's week 4. So I can't wait to go back. But, I mean, just in regards to Twitter, I mean, why do I care about what Mr. Egghead 420069 like has to say about me? You can't please anyone. I mean, you've been in here for a while. Like, people will give their left nut to be where we are. And, like, whether this works out for me after this year or not, like, I'm very grateful to be where I'm at, and I'm not just going to let people that don't like me ruin this experience for me.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I think what you said kind of makes sense. So you just gotta be, and there is a market for the heel. Yeah, there is a market for the heel, dude. Yeah, there is. So
the heel's tough though, because naturally I'm not a heel.
You don't feel like a heel. You're a charitable guy from what you said earlier on.
Right. Well,
so you don't think you're a heel. You don't view yourself in that.
I'm a heel when it comes to like talking shit about the Miami Dolphins or talking shit about rival teams. Yeah, I'm a heel there. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not a heel on like if you catch me walking down the street and you're like, hey, can you buy me a taco or something? Like I'm the type of guy that like, yeah, I'll go buy you a taco.
Interesting.
But when it
comes, you're a heel where like I walked into fucking my office that I've been for years on Monday, like last Monday, and you know I was carrying my teeth in my pocket. I had no wallet after what the Packers did to the Bears, and you were smiling at my ass, which is like
it was like a genuine smile because like I already knew you were in the dumps, and I was just like, I'm not gonna talk shit. I didn't want to be like, what did I tell you? I was just kind of just smiling. I thought that was the easiest way for me to sympathize.
Yeah, it was interesting. How do you
say that? Fucking
sympathize.
Sympathize for you.
Don't worry, I say shit wrong all the time. But you're right. It was kind of funny. You were the first person I saw, and I was like genuinely like really fucking.
I didn't know you get rallied up like that.
Yeah, man. The Bears mean a lot to me and a lot of people in this city, and it's funny because I've been so accustomed to, I walk in here, I have an office with 8 to 10 people, and it's all Chicago Bears fans, and everyone's in the
now
same
you got a
demeanor.
melting pot.
And now now people from all over the place. I was like, holy fuck. It was definitely things are different now, buddy. You know, it was that for myself, who, like you said, who's this has been my home for a long time.
Right.
For a couple, at this location, at least for a couple of years. So it was interesting.
Has that been tough for you?
What's that?
Like having all these other.
No, I
teams
think, like
and-
I keep saying to everyone, is that the toughest part is just the space. Is just kind of, we're just
Space here is terrible.
Yeah, we're just all over each other right now. But
Yeah.
it's temporary, dude. It a couple more weeks, it's gonna go by. We're gonna get the big office. It's gonna be a lot better. So that'll be good. I don't know. It's change is, you just got to adapt to it. I think a lot of people, and I get asked it all the time, and I think I answer it different every time. Now I'm kind of like in the boat where people are trying to make it like some big thing because they want it to
like
be
that.
like some
Yeah.
like negative thing, and they want like a reaction. But it is what it is. Like, sure, there's like stuff that I don't love as much. Sure, but there's going to be things that come out of this that I'm going to be really happy about, and it's going to be sweet. So
100%.
it is what it is. It's just a new chapter of Barstool. This is the third office I'm going to be working out of, and
God bless.
there's going to be good stuff. There's going to be bad stuff. That's just the way it is, and I'm going to keep chugging along.
That's
with
how
it.
I feel about moving up here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, I love it in Chicago.
You do?
Like, I don't want to go back home.
Really?
Like, that's how much I love it up
Well,
here.
we'll get into that in a second. I want to toss you something right here. I want to toss you this RHOBACK sweatshirt, and I want you to tell the people how comfortable that thing is.
This thing is very comfortable.
Tell them.
This is the hoodie that if you give to your girlfriend, you're never getting back. That's how comfortable this
That's
jacket
a good way to
is.
put it. That's
is
a good way
really
to put it.
And I'm gonna keep this because you threw it at me.
There you go. All right,
So
you
it's
keep
mine
it.
now.
It's my size. It might not fit a little bit, but a little snug, a little
Yeah, it's
shrinkage.
the
You'll be
perfect
good.
snuggle
Yeah,
jacket.
you'll be good. So, hey, that's RHOBACK, guys. That's a RHOBACK Performance hoodie. Simply put, they're the softest, stretchiest hoodies out there, and you'll be living in these things this fall. Go give them a chance. Also, they just released their Performance crew neck. A lot of people are crew neck guys. I like a good crew neck.
necks.
For both men and women. They're breathable, yet so comfortable. They're the perfect crew neck for a crisp fall morning while you're on the move or having a relaxing weekend. And finally, you guys know we love the Performance joggers. You got to get on the joggers.
I
too,
need
Nicky.
joggers.
Dude,
Bad.
go RHOBACK. I got you a promo code here at the end.
Please.
They're made to move in, and they're incredibly comfortable. And they're odds are at least one of us are wearing them at all times. Che was wearing them during the snake draft on Monday. So that's just the way it is. RHOBACK is always around the Barstool office, whether it's Chicago or New York. So kick your fall off right. Use the promo code DOG on RHOBACK.com for 20% off your first purchase through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all performance hoodies, crew necks, joggers with code DOG. Like I said, it does end sometime tomorrow, so make sure you're hopping on this. Do it ASAP because you don't want to miss out on RHOBACK. 20% off is a generous beginning promo code. So hop in, promo code DOG. RHOBACK's awesome. Go use them. So you're enjoying it. That's interesting.
I love it in Chicago. I can't get over it. I love the city. It's so clean. I love the people. The Midwest people are just so genuine, down to earth. I love my job. It's just I love everything about it. Now it is summertime. So I've never been able to like walk out of my house and it be 68, 70 degrees in July, August, September. Like, that's insane to me. But I just, it feels like a whole new part of my life has just started moving here. And maybe I'm still in like my honeymoon phase and I haven't had my first winter yet. But just like the way everything moves, and I don't know, I'm just very happy here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you are totally in your honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
1,000%. I'll tell you, the winter sucks. There's not a lot of silver linings to it. I mean, it'll be cool. I think you'll maybe get to appreciate the first changing of the seasons because you lived in Miami your whole life.
Yeah,
right?
there's no season. It's summer.
Yeah, like I mean, and you'll get to appreciate that a little bit. I think.
Right.
It'll be, but the novelty will definitely wear off. I think after a year.
Yeah, my friend was like, "Fall's coming." I'm like, "When's fall? How long does that last?"
Yeah. Yeah. What is fall? That's interesting, dude.
Yeah, I've never had it.
That's a very interesting perspective. So, yeah, I think your first snow. Have you seen snow?
I've seen snow one time.
When?
I went to Pittsburgh for a Dolphins playoff game.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, go figure.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it. I mean, when it's your first time seeing it, I think I was like 17 at the time, 18 at the time. You feel like you're 4 again. So like I'm diving in snow piles. Like we ran out of the airport, started throwing snowballs at each other. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
But I could see how living in it and like shoveling snow out of your driveway could be miserable.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
It sucks, man. It's one of those things too where you don't get to fully enjoy it either, because it's not like we are in Denver where we, you know, if you're a ski head, you can go ski.
Right.
It's like you just have to move it and put it out of your way, and you know you got to wear these boots and you track it in and out of your house, and shoveling sucks dick, but it does look pretty. It does look pretty.
Yeah,
it does
it
make the
does.
city look pretty.
When I went to Buffalo for the only time I ever see snow is when I go to see the Dolphins play in the playoffs.
It makes sense.
And I went to Buffalo, and I thought I was in the North Pole. I mean, there's just snow everywhere on the trees, the driveways, the houses. It was amazing. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, but we'll see. I mean, like you said though, overall, it feels like you sound like you're in a good spot when it comes to your job and everything, how that goes. So maybe you won't be bothered by it.
No,
Who
I mean, no,
knows?
I'll definitely be bothered by it. I got alligator blood.
Yeah. And you'll want to get back. Do you like? That's the goal though. At some point though, right? Would you want to
What?
get back to Miami? Or are you like?
No, I mean, my goal is to just keep getting extended here, and if
Ride
they
this
want me
out.
here, be here, and if they don't want me here, like I'll go back home. But
Did you want to do the New York office at all?
no, there was no chance in hell I was going to New York.
Really?
0%.
Why did Chicago intrigue you more than New York?
Well, one, I knew all like the sports guys were coming here, and two, I hate the city of New York. I hate the state of New York. I do like Western New York though. Shout out Western New York, but New York City itself is a fucking dump. And I came here once for one of my friend's bachelor's party, and I was blown away by how clean the city was. So when Dave offered me New York or Chicago, it was a no-brainer. I was coming to Chicago the whole time. There was no way in hell I was going to New York.
Interesting. Yeah, it's
I'd rather have worked from home than have gone to New York.
really.
Yeah.
Really?
I would never live there.
Well, it was at least you had a little test of the city too for a weekend, so you kind of knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
A little bit at least. Also, something, Nicky, we've talked about this before off mic, and I don't know if it made it into our stool scenes, and you mentioned it too. You mentioned it on one of the podcasts, at least. So you grew up in Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah.
So you went to school out there.
Well, I grew up in the suburbs,
Okay.
but I tell everyone Fort Lauderdale because no one's really familiar.
What suburb did you grow up in?
Parkland.
Parkland.
Yeah.
And obviously there's no easy way to talk about this, but you did go to Douglas. You said
Yeah.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas,
Yeah.
and we talked about this a little bit before we did the podcast. You unfortunately knew a lot of people that were at the school that day when
Yep.
things happened.
Yeah. So I graduated high school in 2017, and the shooting was the following year in 2018. And at the time, I was in college at UCF, and I remember I was playing pickup basketball with my friends, and we had just came back from the gym, and we're sitting in our apartment, and I'm scrolling on Twitter, and Douglas is trending, and I'm like, is this some kind of joke? Because it's Parkland, Florida, it's a very safe, well-off neighborhood, and we click on it, and it's talking about a school shooting. And I'm like, you need to turn the news on right now. And we turn it on, and next thing you know, it's my high school, and there's helicopters flying around the school. And the first thing I did was call my sister, who was she was still at Douglas, and I called her freaking out. She said, I'm okay. Luckily, my sister, she had left earlier that day because she had knee surgery on her knee. But had she not have had that surgery, her classroom, in her period, her teacher was shot and killed in the face. Some of her classmates were also killed. And I lost my football coach, Coach Feist. He ran into the building unarmed, no gun, while our school resource officer sat outside with a gun and did nothing like a fucking pussy coward he is. And our football coach went in there unarmed, and he was shot and killed. Same thing with our athletic director. My friend Joaquin, shot and killed as well, and Meadow Pollock, rest in peace. I was very, very close with her and her family. I still am to this day. And they identified her by her fingernail because the sick fuck that shot up the school shot her 17 times. It might have been a little more than 17. And they identified her by a fingernail.
Jesus.
And it was terrible. I mean, I remember like once everything happened, me and these two girls that I went to high school with, we drove home, and like the second we got into Parkland, you could feel it. Like, you could feel like the death in the air. You could feel like the second we even drove in, like I started crying. Like you just felt it. I can't explain it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just having to go to like, I think I went to 5 funerals in 2 days. And then just like seeing all these people's families, and it like, it's fucked up, bro. And never in a million years did I ever think that would happen at my high school. But the most fucked up part is when I heard that there was a shooting, I already knew who the shooter was before the whole world did. Like, I knew it. Like, a bunch of us that grew up there together, like, we knew it was that kid before the police even found out, like, it was that kid.
Genuinely, you just felt it in your gut that was...
Yeah, like, that kid would walk around, because growing up there, you go to Westglades Middle School, then you go to Douglas, or you go to Coral Springs Middle School, and then you go to Douglas. So I went to Westglades, and that kid went to Westglades. And I'll never say his name.
And he was your age, right?
No, he's a year younger. And he would run around the school, like, pulling the fire alarms, opening the door, like, saying the N-word. Like, there's something wrong with this kid.
Yeah.
And, like, everyone knew it from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
So that's why when I heard about it, I already knew it was him, like, before they had his face all over the place.
Yeah. And just because, like, he misbehaved like that? Or
Yeah,
like,
you could just tell.
Yeah.
Like, it's not often you have a 12-year-old kid running around ripping the fire alarm, screaming the N-word in classrooms, and, you know, he's an ROTC kid. I mean, nothing against the ROTC. But just, like, you know, like, he just looked like a problem, and he was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he should have never been allowed in that school.
But did you think he was capable of something to that magnitude?
It's a great question. I guess you don't really know what anyone's really capable of.
It's true.
But 17 people, I don't think anyone.
Yeah, who is the
You know, like,
person?
I grew up duck hunting. I used to hunt all the time with my dad. And I never once sat there and thought, let me point this gun at him and kill him.
Yeah.
I don't know what has to go through someone's mind to, like, point a gun at someone and take their life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one person.
Mm-hmm.
And he killed 17. And then luckily his gun jammed because he got to the top floor. And on the top floor of that building, there's like a window, and it views the whole courtyard. And his plan was to shoot through the window and just kill as many people as he could. But his gun jammed. And that's why it was 17 instead of, it could have been 35, 30.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things where I asked you beforehand if I could bring it up. You know.
Yeah, no, it's been long enough to where I could talk about it, like, with a level head. But yeah, I mean, it's something that you know, Valentine's Day is never the same for me, and it never will be, just because of what happened. And it's unfortunate, like, and that's just me. Like, imagine, like, the family members, you know, like the parents that don't ever get to see their kid again, or, you know, my football coach, he'd bring his 2-year-old daughter to practice every day, and she's gonna grow up without her father.
Yeah,
because he was selfless enough to go in there and risk his life to save as many kids as he can.
Yeah,
and I just hope that she, like, remembers that when she gets older.
Yeah, and I'm sure. I hope, you know, the community obviously will.
Yeah, no, they definitely will
do their best to kind of rally around her and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because I think he only went to one building, right?
Yeah, I think it was kind of, he just opened the door and he walked in, and that was it.
And so your sister was supposed to be in that exact
Yeah,
moment.
she was supposed to be there. And then my favorite teacher ever, Miss Riovan, I love that woman. I still do to this very day. She put up with so much shit for me. I remember someone sending me a video, and it was her classroom, and I thought she was dead, but it was her student that looked just like her. And I'm seeing 3 kids laying dead on the floor, in the same exact classroom that I was sitting in the year before, laying dead, blood all over the place. And I just texted her, and I was just like, I just hope you're okay. Like, I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know who's in this video, but like, please just tell me that you're okay. Because if I didn't have that teacher, there was no way I was going to get through high school.
Yeah.
And she reached out to me, but I don't think she teaches at the school anymore. I don't blame her. Like, there's no way I would ever step foot back in that campus.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too, because you bring up that, and I remember that day pretty vividly, because it feels like that was one of the first, and it's sad, I say first ones that it happened so frequent, where you saw like a lot of like Snapchat videos and stuff of people in those classrooms, and it's like, I could imagine being on your end where you knew people there and you saw like places that you used to be. So man, that's awful. Does the community, like, how is it now? Like, does it seem like
I'll say this, as fucked up as it's going to sound, I'd say the community was at its strongest after the shooting.
Well, that I don't think that's fucked up, because that's like kind of how after 9/11, like, you know.
Right. But ever since then, they kind of just went back to their snobby ways, I'd put it.
Really?
Yeah. I hate Parkland.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's a good place to raise your family, but there's no genuine people there.
Really?
Like, that's why it was such a culture shock when I came up here.
Mm-hmm.
And just the way people talk to each other. Like, hey, how are you? Like, to your neighbors. Hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's none of that back home. It's kind of just head down, keep it moving.
Yeah, you're just kind of in your own world.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it makes you appreciate it, though.
Yeah. No, I got you. Well, damn, man. Yeah, like I said, I just know Che brought it up before, and you said you went there before on our pod, and everyone's like, sometimes these things are like better just to address, and you know, more people know, and then
Right.
you can kind of react from there instead of being like, oh, because I'm sure you remember when he was bringing it up on that football conversation, and you were kind of quiet. I was like, well, hey, would that help you to kind of address your perspective on it? And
yeah, definitely.
What your day was like.
And then that way, because that's another reason why I tell people I'm from Fort Lauderdale, because when I tell them Parkland, like, the first thing they'll ask me is about the shooting.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I'm from oh, I'm sorry about that. Or,
Yeah.
hey, like, what? And like, I have no problem discussing it with you, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't want to meet Sally at the bar and the first thing she's talking to me about is a school shooting.
Yeah.
So.
No, I gotcha, man. Do you think is that like how it's been though? It's been every time.
For the first 2 years, yeah, definitely. I'd say lately, not as much. I mean, some people will forget. Obviously, I'll never forget that day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's slowed down, but you know, the people that do keep their ear to the news, that's not a phrase, but you know, like, people that didn't forget, like, yeah, if I meet them, they're like, oh, you went to Parkland? Like, yeah, and then it just kind of goes into that.
Yeah.
And it's not like the best icebreaker.
Yeah, no, I got you. Well, shit, feels wrong to end on that, so I don't know if there's anything else to say. Any like plans here? Like, what's your thing that you kind of want to get involved with? Because that is one thing too with your, you know, when we get these new hires, sometimes they're just dropped off in a whirl, and it's like, all right, sink or swim. And it's a hard place to exist, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's been the case right now. I'm really just blogging. I never really came here to be a blogger, but like, it's part of my job, and it's something I will continue to do and get better at. But I want to be in the mix. Like, this is all I could ever ask for, just sitting on a mic, talking with my friends, and, you know, just entertaining people to the best that we can.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, I'll even go home early just to go record TikToks, because I don't want to sit like on the couch making TikToks in front of everyone. It feels kind of weird. Or like, I just go back home and I record like my gambling podcast that's on Nicky Smokes Shop. Shameless plug, but it goes live every Wednesday.
You should plug everything you can on this show.
And then on Mondays, I talk about the Dolphins and like the best games from the NFL. That's also on Nicky Smokes Shop. And both those shows air at 7 Central Time. But yeah, I want to be in the mix more.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm not the type of guy that wants to sit on the couch and fucking do nothing and blog. And there's nothing against blogging, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I could bring a lot of good energy, a lot of positivity, a lot of personality to this office. And I just wanted to be utilized, not for my own personal gain, but just to like make everything better for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, like if you need me to go shotgun 24 beers, like I'll go do that. If you need me to go pick up 100 chicken wings for this, I'll go do that. Like I'll do anything is like what I'm trying to say. Like I'm more of a team guy.
Yeah.
Like would I like to have my own show? Like sure, but would I give a fuck if I was just sitting back there filling in for filler questions? Like no, like sign me up for that.
For sure. No, I think that attitude gets you a long way at this place, though. So I think that's good. And I think I saw Big Cat shout you out about helping out with Stella Blue in the morning. So.
Yeah, almost died.
How'd you almost die?
I'm allergic to bees.
Oh, yeah, you got stung?
Yeah, and we have this whole table. It's like oat milk, whole milk, half this, cream, sugar. And there's like 15 bees like sitting in the oat milk thing. I'm looking at, like, I was with Connor. I'm like, yo, do you not see these bees here? Like, we need to get rid of this. He's like, dude, they're fine. I'm like, dude, they're not fine. Like, there's 15
fucking
bees.
Allergic, bro.
I'm like, no one's touching that, and I'm allergic to it. He's like, oh, they're nice up here. I'm like, you mean to tell me the fucking bees are just nicer in Illinois? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm sitting there for like 30 minutes pouring coffee, and then they shift from like the creamer to the coffee, and it just clipped me right on my thumb, and luckily I had Benadryl, and I just took a walk, ate the Benadryl, and came back, and that was
what could
it.
happen? What's the worst thing that's happened?
So the last time I got stung, I was like 4. So my mom, the last time she told me, I just get like hives, and like I guess it was hard for me to swallow because I was 4 years old. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like life or death. It could be if I don't have the Benadryl though.
Or if you got stung enough, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Like if I got stung like twice, I probably would have.
If you got swarmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm glad you're all right. Shout out to Connor. That guy just fucking, you might as well called you a pussy. Jesus, dude. What is going on? Yeah, that guy's diehard Stella Blue.
Dude, he loves bees.
Apparently. I mean, I think actually bees, it's like a thing where they're really good. Like you need bees.
I don't need bees.
Well, you don't personally, but like, you know, the honey.
Oh, yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I
No,
mean?
they're
Like
good for the environment.
Apiary shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I'm not a...
I'm not a bee guy, and I don't like pollen.
No, I don't think anyone likes pollen. All right, then, Nicky Smokes. Go follow Nicky Smokes at...
Yes, Twitter at Nicky Smokes, and then YouTube would be huge at Nicky Smoke Shop.
Question, though. Did you know there was a Tommy Smokes? Be honest.
No.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, man, you're coming for the Smokes title.
No, and it's no, like, disrespect to Tommy whatsoever, because, like, he's obviously a legend at Barstool. But I was originally... So my Twitter name was Smoke, but my username was Nicky Betts. Like, it was like a play off of Mookie Betts, because at the time I was just betting. And my friend one day, shout out Ghost, he was like, yo, I think you should go from Nicky Betts to Nicky Smokes. It just sounds cleaner. It's like, all right, it sounds like a good idea. And then I switched it, and like that's just how it was.
That was it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So would you fight Tommy Smokes at Rough and Rowdy for the Smokes crown?
I don't think he'd want to fight me.
But would you?
I mean, yeah.
All right.
I'd rather not fight Tommy.
An official challenge is out
but
there for
nah,
Tommy
me and Tommy, we handled our smokes in private on DM on Twitter, so we're
good. Good. And do you have you did say you don't have ill will towards anyone who's been coming at you because you've been taking it from all angles. There's not one person who you'd like to maybe see in that Rough and Rowdy ring? I got to rile some people up a little bit here, Nick.
I don't know if I don't know what to say here.
Oh, how you got someone?
There's only one person.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they in this office?
No.
Right fucking here, Nick. You can just tell me.
Nah, Harry.
Is it not Harry?
No.
They're in New York?
Yeah.
Look, can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it KFC?
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Well, KFC's not going to fight. I know that for
yeah,
sure.
no. I mean, look,
I actually think in a roundabout way, though, you and KFC will be able to squash your beef.
Yeah, no, and that's what I was going to say, too. Like, I don't come out here saying it like that. Like, I'd love to squash the beef with KFC. Like, I never wanted the beef with KFC. But the second I got hired, like, he tweeted out this fucking tweet and, like, basically was like, this kid didn't work for anything. He won a bet. I'm like, well, dude, I had to get on fucking Dave's radar. Like, he's not just DMing random fucking people on Twitter for a job. Like, I put in work to get on that radar, to get that opportunity.
Like there was something that went into this.
Yeah, but like I said, I've never wanted problems with anyone, but if they want a problem with me, like, it is what it is.
I think you and KFC will squash it. KFC's a good guy.
We'll find out.
We'll find out someday when you guys cross paths. This makes me want to text him and see if, well, I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he does just to test you, but I doubt that's the case. All right, then, Nicky Smokes. Thanks, man.
Pleasure.
Appreciate you coming on.
Anytime.
And that's it, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, please, to the YouTube. And we'll be back on Monday. That's it.